Welcome back to the show, guys. I'm your host, Valentine. Today we're going to do a little bit something different. I haven't been touching anything for a while, like strictly on the Bible. And today, this is what we're going to do. Guys, believe it or not, and this I found it about a year ago, I think I might have found the first recorded manifestations of SJW or social justice warriors in the history of the world. I might be wrong, but maybe you guys know. Tell me. We're going to be reading today in the book of Acts 19. We're going to be reading a section that's called here, the riot in Ephesus. I was reading through this passage and I was amazed. Do me a favor. If you haven't read the Bible in a minute, listen to this, because it's going to skis down today. Listen, man. All right, here we go. You guys ready? I'm gonna put my radio voice. I'm going to try to put my nice and low down and nice voice for the radio. Look at my lighting that I put for you guys. You guys better be subscribing. That's all I'm telling you guys. Not working here for nothing. Here we go. The riot in Ephesus. About that time that there arose a great disturbance about the way. They sound ghetto already. About the way, right? A silversmith named Demetrius, who made silver shrines of Artemis, there you go, that's the name, Artemis, brought in a lot of business for the craftsmen there. He called them together along with the workers and related trades and said, "You know, my friends, that we received a good income from this business, and you see and hear how this fellow Paul has conceived and led astray large numbers of people here in Ephesus and practically the whole province of Asia." First of all, he called other workers from trades. What does that sound to you guys like? Communism, people of the labor getting together. This might have been also the first communist in history. Let's keep reading. All right. So where was that? 26. And you see here how this fellow Paul had convinced and led astray a large numbers of people here in Ephesus and practically the whole province of Asia. He said that the gods made by humans are no gods at all. Listen up, Catholics. You don't pray to statues and saints. No gods at all. 27. There is a danger not only that our trade will be lost, that our trade will lose its good name, but also that the temple of the great goddess I can't pronounce this name, man. Artemis. There you go. Artemis will be discredited. And the goddess herself, who is worshipped throughout the province of Asia and the world, will be robbed of her divine majesty. When they heard this, they were furious and began shouting, "Greatest Artemis of the Ephesians." They shouting already. We're starting to shout, but this is not the part. The part is coming up. Soon the whole city was in an uproar. The people seized Gaius and Articus, Paul's traveling companions from Macedonia. They grabbed them right away. And all of them rushed into the theater together. Paul wanted to appear before the crowd, but the disciples would not let him. Paul wanted to appear, but the disciples would not let him. Sounds like it's happening today, like a Ben Shapiro wanting to appear, but people do not let him because they're afraid of the crowd. What is going on here? All right. Even some of the officials of the province, friends of Paul, sent him a message begging him not to venture into the theater. Don't go into that school. Don't give that speech at that university. The assembly was in confusion. Some were shouting one thing, some another. Most of the people, listen to this. Most of the people did not even know why they were there. Typical SJWs. Typical of them, man. They have no clue what they're doing. I'm not making this up, guys. You guys are seeing the text is on the screen. Read it or look it up for yourself. This is, by the way, the New International Version I'm reading. The Jews in the crowd pushed Alexander to the front and they shouted instructions to him. He motioned for silence in order to make a defense before the people. But when they realized he was a Jew, these people are already, They're looking at the race. They're looking at religion. But when they realized he was a Jew, they all shouted in unison for about 2 hours. Greatest Artemis of the Ephesians. Greatest Artemis of the Ephesians. 2 hours. SJWs, look. Who are, look.
Trump has got to go. Hey, hey.
Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. SJWs, right here in the Bible. Acts, read it. But when they realized he was a Jew, identity politics, they all shouted in unison for about 2 hours. Greatest Artemis of the Ephesians. Right here, guys. I don't know. Somebody please confirm. I keep reading. The city clerk quieted the crowd and said, fellow Ephesians, doesn't all the world know that the city of Ephesus is the guardian of the temple of the great Artemis and of her image which fell from heaven? Therefore, since these facts are undeniable, you ought to come down and not do anything rash. Calm down to SJW, crazy. You have brought these men here, thought they have neither robbed temples nor blasphemed our goddess. If then Demetrius and his fellow craftsmen have a grievance against anybody, the courts are open and they are proconsuls. The courts, like SJW, to go to the court. They don't care about courts. Remember, it's all emotion, man. This guy, see, he didn't know who he was dealing with. We know already. They can press charges. Press charges, please. They could keep shouting. If there is anything further you want to bring up, it must be settled in a legal assembly. Legal assembly. What? As it is, we are in danger of being charged with rioting because of what happened today. In that case, we will not be able to account for this commotion since there is no reason for it. After he said this, he dismissed the assembly, and then Antifa showed up. No, that little part, I put that there. Antifa. Imagine if Antifa would have showed up. Yo, it would have been crazy. Man, guys, what you think about this? It's just insane, the amount of parallels. You could have literally, I mean, that's why the Bible is the Bible, man. Whether you believe it or not, hey, man, that's up to you. My job is to let you know, and God gave you free will to do whatever you want with it, man. That doesn't mean that there's no repercussions to the choices you make. But I digress, right? As my boy, well, not my boy because I don't know him, but I follow him. Anthony Brian Logan, who's a good guy. Go follow him if you don't know what he does. Guys, what do you think about this topic? I mean, the parallels are there. Communism. I mean, it just needed Antifa there at the end, huh? Let me know what you guys want to see. I want to do a little bit more. For some reason, I've just totally forgotten about doing topics which are kind of strictly about the Bible and stuff like that. Even though this is not strictly about it, it does incorporate politics. But I want to do more topics, a little bit more diverse than just straight up politics, because I understand that kind of gets boring and it's kind of the same thing all over and over and over and over and over again. But let me know what you guys think. Let me give me a comment, give me a like, give me a dislike. If you give me a dislike, let me know what am I missing. Guys, we need to make this channel grow with a like. And if you're not actually, if you are watching this on Facebook, go on Facebook. Click on or like the Valentine show, the page, and you're gonna get the videos there. Also, if that's your form of getting the media that you desire, I'm also there on Facebook. Remember, I'm also on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere. God bless. Godspeed me, Valentine.